leaders just rise to the top. You just can spot them fairly quickly. And I noticed that with him. And as time has gone on, not only has he gotten promoted, but he's become a very, very important part of the BYLD organization. And we're very happy to have you. Thank you once again, Chris, for all that you do. And you know what? I just want to let all of you guys know I'm just so filled with gratitude. I'm always, we've got so many reasons to be grateful for. Even in tough times, we have reasons to be grateful for most times if we really think about it, right? Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to mention, as a true network marketer, I've got to mention the following. Super Saturday this Saturday, California, Mr. Kevin Ross is going to be here. Here's the deal. CEO of Zeta is going to be in town. CEO and creator of Zeta is going to be in town. CEO and creator of BYLD Network is going to be in town. Okay? So this is like a very, very special event. So we've even got people flying in from different states because they want to be a part of this. So we're going to have a great time. We're going to do an incredible presentation. Here's another thing that we're doing. We're going to introduce the new BYLD presentation. Guess what? We're going to talk a lot more about these other services, right? And Chris has seen it. That's why he's clapping. Those people that have seen it are like, man, I love that presentation, because here's the deal. We make money, we make commissions, we make overrides, and all of that is great. I love making a huge commission, but you know what I love more than making a huge commission? Making a huge residual income. And that's where the subscription, the power of the subscription model comes in. And we're going to be introducing the new PowerPoint presentation. It's going to talk about Zeta. It's going to talk about our essential services agency. And it's going to talk about our Eventi product. So anyways, very excited for that. So I look forward to seeing you guys. If you have not registered, if somebody could do me a favor, please put the link in the chat here for this weekend's Super Saturday, Anaheim, California. Literally a stone throw away from Disneyland is where we're going to be. It's literally a stone throw away from Disneyland. So it's at the DoubleTree Hotel in Anaheim, California. So make sure that you guys register. There's not a lot of tickets left. Register your guest, register yourself. I tell people, if you're within a 4-hour driving distance, that means if you're in Las Vegas, come to California. Okay? Come and hang out with us in Orange County, California. It's beautiful out there, and it's gonna be a historic day. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Let's make sure we promote. Call your teams as a network marketer. And after this, I'm gonna start. There's announcers and then there's promoters. You want to be a promoter in the business. That means that you call your people. You let them know. You've got to persuade people to do the right thing. You got to persuade people, right? And there's a difference between persuade, right, and convince, right? If you persuade them, it's because you are showing them the real reasons why they're going to benefit being there or buying whatever it is that you want them to buy. So start working on those skills. Start working on the skills to persuade people, to get people as a leader. Leaders get other people to do things they otherwise wouldn't have done had the leader not been involved. So we want to make sure that we do that. And trust me, all of these events, as I talk about in the team building trainings, are about extending expiration dates until you erase expiration dates. I want you to remember that. I want you to write that down. As a network marketing team building leader, your job is to extend expiration dates, because everybody has an expiration date. Very few people don't have an expiration date. Most people have an expiration date. Your job is, by getting them to the event, you extended their expiration date. They bought the vision. They caught the vision. By getting them paid, you extended their expiration date. By having conversations with them and mentoring them and explaining and answering their questions, you extended their expiration date. Getting them paid, getting them a recruit, you extend expiration dates, and then eventually you've got that individual. Guess what? They don't have an expiration date. They're going to do the business until they win. And that's your job as a leader. But if some of you guys have people that their expiration date is coming very soon. Maybe they've had some frustrations. Maybe they're getting too much rejection for them. You don't get them to a special event. You don't get them to the trainings. Their expiration date is going to hit because you did nothing to extend their expiration date. The longer people are in and they're connected to the business, they're trying, they're talking to people, they're prospecting. Guess what? The higher the likelihood is that something happens in their business to extend that expiration date. And once again, eventually erase that expiration date. So anyways, enough of that. I see we got 91 people on here. Let's push to 100. Send your text messages out. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and let's get started with today's Millionaire Mentor Zoom. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about, it's actually not the science of getting rich. It's secrets of the millionaire mind. The reason why this slide says the science of getting rich is because I have a long PowerPoint that is based on the science of getting rich, but I added these slides as well from T. Harv Eker. It's an amazing book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. So we're going to talk about 17 differences in thoughts and actions that rich people do versus people that are not rich. But before we get into that, let's talk about, here's a glance of some of the habits of the rich. And this is a study that was done a couple of years ago, of habits of the rich and whether or not they have a routine. So let's look at these numbers. Rich people maintain a to-do list. What percentage? 81% of rich people maintain a to-do list. I talk all the time about a to-do list. For me personally, ladies and gentlemen, having a to-do list just helps me be more productive. It helps me stay more organized. Sometimes I have foggy brain. And what I do when I have a foggy brain, I'm kind of like, I got a lot to do. Where do I start? I stop. I go out, grab one of my many notepads. Well, I have one specific notepad for my to-do list, but if I can't find it, if it's misplaced, I grab another notepad and I start writing down what are the things that I've got to get done today. And it serves as a memory jogger. I write one down. Oh, what about this? That's right. And I'm done in a couple of minutes. In 5 minutes, I'm done with my to-do list. And I know it's time to attack what's on this list. So when I see this here, I can totally relate. 81% of rich people maintain a to-do list. The next one, they wake up 3 hours before work. I want you to put in the chat here, why do you guys think 44% of rich people wake up 3 hours before work? What are some of the reasons that these people may want to wake up a couple of hours before? And by the way, Chris, let's make sure that everybody's muted and make sure that nobody can unmute. Okay? Thank you very much. So what are the reasons? To work out, to get a head start, right? For preparation. All of these are good to be more productive. Self-care, workout, meditation, reading the Bible. Yes, I do that in the morning. I drink my coffee, I read the Bible. I go to the gym. These are some things that I do, but here's one thing that I used to do more often than I do now. One of the things that I'm going to start doing now that I used to do before, but I don't do as much now, is I'm going to beat the sun. I'm going to wake up before the sun comes up. I'm going to beat the sun. And here's what happens. When I wake up at 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, I just get so much done. It's like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning. I'm like, wow, I've already done so much. I'm so ahead of the game, right? It makes a big, big difference. So thank you for sharing that, guys. The next one, listen to audiobooks during commute. 63% of rich people listen to audiobooks during commute instead of whatever, music or radio or whatever the case may be. 63%. Success leaves clues. Network 5 hours monthly. 5 hours or more monthly. 79% of rich people network 5 or more hours monthly. They read 30 minutes or more daily. That's interesting. Isn't it 8 points that talks about reading 30 minutes of a good book a day, right? Or of a good audio per day, or 10 pages of a good book. Well, guess what? 88% of rich people do that. And then what percentage is left to read? 86%. Versus poor people, look at the percentages. Ladies and gentlemen, success leaves clues. Let's keep going. Okay. Now, they are healthy. They exercise aerobically at least 4 times per week. 77% of wealthy people exercise at least 4 hours per week. Four times per week, rather. Okay. Now, they have goals. How important are goals? Even the good book, even the Bible talks about setting goals and the importance of goals. 87% write down their goals. 87% of wealthy people write down their goals versus 70% of poor people. 80% focus on accomplishing a specific goal, 80% versus 12%. 86% believe in lifelong self-improvement. Self-improvement is a part of my daily routine. That is a philosophy. I am improving on a daily basis, okay? Versus 5%. 84% believing that good habits create opportunity. How many guys does that make sense to? That good habits create opportunity. And 76% believe that bad habits create negative impact. Yeah, these are all common sense things, aren't they? They're all common sense things. But when we look at them, and when I look at these here, and when I looked at them for the first time, I realized, wow, This is a study that was done on wealthy people versus poor people. I need to adopt and do some of the things that these other people are doing. That's a big percentage. And when I learned the quote for the first time 20 years ago that says success leaves clues, I said it sure does. So let's get started with the 17 differences. This is from the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. The first one, rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. That's such a big one. Ladies and gentlemen, where your business is today, where your residual check is today, or the lack of, our bank accounts are because of our doing. Okay? The credibility that we have with other people is because of our doing. I'm going to encourage you to do something today. Decide to take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, for the success in your life, or the lack of success in your life. And by the way, if you are able to turn on your camera, please turn on your camera. That is a successful person's trait, by the way. They're present. They're not multitasking, they're present, right? Here's what a victim does. Because see, poor people believe that life happens to me. That's a victim mentality. You need to hear this over and over. And you need to pay attention to other people that have a victim mentality, and you'll realize, you'll start noticing it. Here's what victims do. They do three things. I always talk about this, and I don't get tired of talking about the victim mentality. Why? Because it's so important. It was important for me to recognize it when I was doing it. Here's a victim's mentality. They have three things that they do all the time. They blame. Number one, they blame. They blame others. Rarely do they blame themselves. Number two, they complain. Always complaining. But it's because my upline wasn't there for me. But it's because couldn't find my link. But it's because they're always complaining and blaming. And then the last one is that they justify. You know what? I'd rather be happy than rich. That's a justification. I'd rather be happy too, but who says you've got to pick? I'd rather be happy and rich. A friend of mine told me a long time ago, I've been rich and I've been poor. And I like rich a whole lot more. Okay? So who says that you've got to pick? See, that is a negative philosophy that doesn't serve you. We got to get rid of those negative philosophies. So life doesn't just happen. Life happens just. That is a quote by Jim Rohn. Life doesn't just happen. Life happens just. 10 years from now, we all will be somewhere, hopefully still on this earth, right? If our Father calls us home, can't argue with that, right? But 10 years from now, if we're still here, we're going to either be in a better place or a worse place. We're going to be older, but are we going to be more successful? Are we going to be more fulfilled? Are we going to have more time freedom? Life is not just going to happen. Life is going to happen just based on what we've done. What we have today, the level of success, the level of status, credibility, etc., that we have today is a residual effect of our decisions from the past. It is a residual effect of our decisions in the past. Okay, let's keep going. Rich people play the game of money to win. Poor people play the game of money not to lose. I'm going to elaborate how that fit with me, how that impacted me, how that was true for me. There was a time where I started saving some money, which is great. I think everybody should save some money. But there was a time where I was like just trying to make the money and then save the money. And I was too scared to go and invest some of that money, to have my money grow for me. I was like, no, man, because what if I lose it? See, that is a way of playing the money game not to lose. Rich people know that they've got to take risks. And here's one thing that we say in our presentations all the time. You only have to be right one time. I truly believe. And by the way, this is recorded. All of you guys are already in the business. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to do something, to sell you something or to recruit you. You're already in. I truly believe that we have people in this company, on this Zoom, and in our company that in the next 3 to 5 years are going to become wealthy. I truly believe it. You give me a lie detector test, I will pass it. Here's what I recommend that they do in the meantime. Keep working your business, keep growing, keep attending our Wealthy Wednesday Smart Money Club. Learn what to do when that money comes. Be prepared, right? And that part of what we do with the Smart Money Club is, guess what? We play the money game to win. The next one, rich people are committed. Key word, committed to getting rich. Poor people are merely interested or merely wish to get rich. I need to make that word committed, capital letters and bold. Rich people are committed. How many of us, ladies and gentlemen, would love to be wealthy? Wealthy. And I'm talking about right now, because wealth comes in different forms, right? I'm talking about financially wealthy. How do you guys would love that idea? I certainly do. I'm talking about, to me, what does wealth mean to me? For me, wealth means 100 million and beyond. 100 million and beyond. To me, that's wealth. I think under 100 million, you're rich. I think wealth starts at 100 million and beyond. Okay. But notice, so I asked a question because I read this. It says rich people are committed to getting rich. So how many of us really are committed? If you're committed type committed in the chat if you are indeed committed. If you feel like, listen, for sure, I am indeed committed. I want you to put committed in the chat. I'll tell you why. Now, don't be too quick to put committed in the chat because I'm going to make you uncomfortable. What does that mean, though? What is the person that is committed to getting rich or building wealth? What does that person look like? Meaning, what do their actions look like? Will they be here on the Super Saturday? How many phone calls have they already made to get to the Super Saturday? Have you registered for the Super Saturday already if you're local? And by local, I mean within 4-hour driving distance. Have you already registered and called your people? Because if you haven't done that, you're not committed. It may sound nice to say that I'm committed, but the question is, are our actions aligned with the words that we are saying? That's why we do these millionaire mentor calls, because sometimes we have to get kind of like when I would attend these trainings, right? And I still do now. Sometimes when I attend the trainings, I'm like, whoa, that was like a slap in the face. The shoe fits. Let me put it on. That's a great point that Mr. Bean made. That's a great point that Mr. Pacheco made, that Mr. Navarro made. Sometimes I'm like, that's a great point I made. I need to start embracing that, not just for others, but for myself. Let's keep going. Rich people think big. Poor people think small or not at all. It says here, if you're already going to be dreaming, you might as well dream big. Donald Trump. And if your dreams do not scare you, let me see. If your dream is not big enough, okay, that's misquoted. That quote is, if your dreams do not scare you, they're not big enough. So rich people think big. Poor people think small. Les Brown said, it's not that people aim too high and miss. It's that people aim too low and hit. A lot of people don't reach the success that they wish that they would like to reach. But one thing, when you start to study it back, you start to realize, well, you never even set some big goals. You never even thought big. You thought small or average. No, think big. If you want to get to Builder 2000, go shoot for Builder 8000 by the end of the year and go and take the appropriate committed action to getting to Builder 8000. See if you don't at least end up at Builder 2000. So start thinking. One of my mentors told me a long time ago, he says, JC, you've got to think bigger, faster. You've got to think bigger, faster. He said that to me, and I'm like, then I saw evidence of other people. I saw another gentleman in a healthy coffee company that in 13 months got to $100,000 a month. I had never thought of that kind of money that fast. The thought of making that kind of money someday was awesome, but then I saw, wait a minute, this is a Latino guy. He doesn't even speak English at the time. And he got to $100,000 a month selling healthy coffee in 13 months. I'm going to do it in 9. I started immediately right there. A shift happened. I'm going to shift. I'm going to go to another level. I'm going to make a different level of commitment. And I'm going to put that out on Front Street. I'm going to share tonight the video that I did when I said I will hit 6 figures a month. Now, granted, I was 28 at the time, right? So probably wouldn't do a video like that these days. But at 28, I did, right? My point is, I did the video. Now, I missed my goal. I didn't get to $100,000 a month. But ladies and gentlemen, I still hit. I hit $83,000 or $84,000 for the month on my 18th month. So I didn't beat his record. I certainly didn't beat my record. It took me twice as long to make $16,000 less. But I made $84,000 a month. 18, I hadn't even made $84,000 in a year. The year before that, I didn't make 84,000. Now, 18 months later, I hit 84,000 for the month. Because my mentor told me you got to start thinking bigger, faster, and take the appropriate actions. And I said, I'm going to believe bigger, faster. And I just got to work. And I didn't see, and here's what happens when you get to work. This is very important for you to understand. You will not see the evidence for a couple of months. You just got to work in faith. You got to work in faith, but you have to have faith that the seeds that you are planting and harvesting and watering are starting to grow underneath, but you can't see that, just like a farmer, right? You're cultivating the land. Guess what? You can't see that, but you're talking to people. And people are watching you. There's people that told you no, that told you not yet, that are watching you. They're like a seed that's planted. And they're watching you, but 6 months from now, they're going to check on you. And when they see that you're still fired up, and then not only that, you've been getting on these trainings. You've been building a business. You've been doing your personal development. Not only do they see 6 months, 1 year from now that you're still in, but you know what they see? A different person. Then they start to say, at first, they say things like this. Don, you don't really think you're going to make it big with this business, do you? Then later they say, Don, you really do see that you're going to make it big in this business, don't you? Now they ask the same question, but the tone is different. You know why? Because you're still in, and because you're growing, your posture is better, your confidence is better, and you are sharper. Start thinking bigger. Let's go. Number 5, rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. Opportunities, obstacles. This is such a big one. Write this down. I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. If money or people can fix it, it's not a problem. It's a situation. If money or people can solve it, it's not a problem, it's a situation. See, poor people, people that aren't making that kind of money, they're not used to problems. I was talking to my son about this earlier. I was like, look, he was telling me about a situation where one of his friends was making a big deal out of an uncomfortable situation, right? Like in gym class or something. And he says to him, dude, it's not even that big of a deal. There's 15 minutes left. Yeah, what we're doing right now is hard, but it isn't that hard, and there's only 15 minutes left. I mean, why are you complaining so much? And I say to him, you know why, Maximus? Because you are used to being in hard situations. Through your sport, jiu-jitsu and wrestling, you are used to being in tough situations, that what other people think are tough situations, you don't. He looks at me and goes, yeah, it was uncomfortable, but big deal. I mean, he probably has never been in that much uncomfort. So a little bit of discomfort is really affecting him, right? So rich people focus on opportunities, poor people focus on obstacles. What you think about, you bring about. Okay, let's keep going. Number 6, rich people admire, respect, and study other rich people, other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. I know a lot of us, we could finish these words. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? That let me tell you something. That philosophy doesn't serve you. Rich people are greedy. That doesn't serve you. I remember a big one is when kids would ask their parents for something, the parent, the dad or the mom would say, what am I made of? Money. So here's the deal. Think about what this is happening. You've got your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't forget. Your subconscious mind believes whatever you give it. If we keep giving our subconscious mind, that is, by the way, infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind. Your subconscious is infinitely more powerful than your conscious. So here's what happens. You keep giving it negativity. You keep giving it limiting beliefs, small thinking, complaining, right? Justification. your subconscious mind starts to believe what you tell it, and it starts to create your identity and your surroundings. But on the contrary, instead of saying, I can't afford it, if we say, how can I afford it? How can I come up with the money for this? You're giving your subconscious mind a different mindset, a different way of thinking. Don't let mediocre thoughts come in, and don't let mediocre words come out. Start to think in abundance. Like, I respect other people's hustle. Somebody beats me to a rank, somebody is more successful than me. I'm like, what are they doing to get there? What did they do? What can I learn from them? What can I copy? Write this down. It's okay to be a copycat, as long as you copy the right cat. It's okay to be a copycat, as long as you copy the right cat. I'm going to give you 3 keys to building this business. It's going to sound controversial, but I promise by the time you let me finish explaining it, it won't be controversial. There's 3 things that we do to build this business. Number 1, we lie. Number 2, we cheat. Number 3, we steal. Let's see, there's 98 people. Let's see if I kick anybody out with that one without letting me explain. Number 1, you lie. I lie awake at night wondering who are those key people that I need to call tomorrow? Who are those key leaders in my organization that I got to reach out to? Who are those people that want it? I lie awake at night thinking about them. Sometimes I get up and I text myself, call so-and-so, do this, do that, because I won't remember. So you lie. Number 2, you cheat. You got to cheat a little bit of time away from some hobbies or even some family members. And you got to create a season of separation, even with your loved ones, because guess what? It's not forever. I got to cheat some time away. I can't go to that baby shower, baby, but you take the kids. I got a Super Saturday to go to. If it's still going on by the time I'm out, I'll be happy to be there. But I got to cheat some time away. I like pickleball. I play pickleball now, but there was a time I'm not going to go play pickleball. Sorry, guys, can't. Because maybe some of you guys are rich. I'm not. I got to go build a business. I'll catch you in a year or so. You got to cheat some time away from some of these hobbies, some of these people, and then steal. You got to steal every great opportunity, every great training, every great quote, every great idea. You got to steal. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. So you got to steal the mindset of other people, the philosophies, the quotes, the way of thinking, the lines that they use. I heard somebody say, I don't even know who I heard say, but I started copying them 3 weeks ago. I said, I'm offering opportunity or regret. I love that line. Call some of my buddies. Listen, man, I know you've been busy. You haven't had time to talk to me. We need to talk about Zeta. Brother, I'm offering you opportunity or regret. Find the time to talk to me. A couple of them call me back. Right? But see, I understand. I got to lie, cheat, and steal. Let's keep going. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative and unsuccessful people. Hey, as they say, birds of a feather flock together. For my Spanish speakers, dime con quién te juntas y te digo quién eres. That translates to, tell me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you are. If you hang out, you will become the average 5 people that you hang out with. You will become the average of the 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with. When you're hanging out on the Millionaire Mentor Zoom, you're hanging out with people that know how to make money. Does that make sense? Even if it's for an hour, you're hanging out with them. Right? So you got to decide. If you hang out with 5 broke people, you're going to be number 6. And your network determines your net worth. Let's go. Number 8, rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negative about selling and promoting. Ladies and gentlemen, write this down. The world doesn't move unless salespeople make sales. In other words, the rubber doesn't meet the road until a sale is made. I am proud to be a sales professional. I am proud to be a network marketing professional. I am proud of it. And people look at me different because they know that I am bold and proud about my profession. Okay? And I promote myself. I'm on social media. I'm promoting. Listen, maybe my being so enthusiastic in some of my posts might turn off 1 out of 10 people. But it'll turn on 9 out of 10 people. Does that make sense? That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Because here's one thing that successful people know. I'm going to give you a bonus. Robert Kiyosaki taught me this. This is so important. I'm going to give you. This is not even in the PowerPoint. Matter of fact, it's so important. I'm going to stop sharing. Listen to what I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. 4 kinds of people. Write this down. Number 1 is people that want to be liked. First kind of person, people that want to be liked. This person will not be successful because they care too much about what other people think about them. They care too much about, what if I make a mistake? I told some people to buy the Zero product. I told some people to join the business. And if it doesn't work out, they're not going to like me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with adults, consenting adults. We're not selling to 10-year-olds. We're not getting $200 from a 10-year-old. We're getting 18 and over. Does that make sense? To join the business. So number 1 is people that want to be liked, not going to be successful. Number 2, people that want to be comfortable, dead in the water. These are the least likely to be successful, nearly impossible. Why? Because they value comfort over everything else. They don't want to bother themselves. They don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to take a risk. They don't spend any time with them. Number 3, people that want to be right. These are stubborn people that you clash with because they want to be right. It's their way. There's a big ego. However, these people are more, because they're more aggressive, they have a lot more success than the first 2 that we talked about. Light and comfort are the least successful. Comfort, least successful. Next one is the light person, less successful, but not as much as a comfort. The next one is a person that wants to be right. Person that wants to be right. They got a big ego. No. I got my way of doing it. I know that you guys have a system and a way to do it. Don't tell me about it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it my own way. Okay. And then what's the 4th person? The 4th person is the one that wants to win. The person who wants to win says, hey, Ignacio, you be right. I'll be rich. Ignacio says, no, but it's like this, like this. That's fine, bro. That's fine. The guy that wants to be like, I like you, man. You're cool, man. Here, but let me show you a different perspective. Let me show you why you shouldn't think like that. The one that wants to be comfortable, hey, have a good day, bro. I'm not going to bother you. Yeah, this opportunity's not for you. Don't worry about it. The guy that wants to be right, hey, you're right. Let me feed into his ego. Let me show him how to win a competition, right? Because I want to win. What color is money? It's every color. Contrary to what people think money is green. No, money doesn't grow on trees. Money grows in other people's pockets. And if you get good, see, money doesn't talk. You don't say money talks. Money doesn't talk, but it does listen. And it's very obedient. And if you call on it, it will come. But most people don't speak the language of money. The language of money is I want to win. So I learned the 4 personalities. I know how to treat the yellows and the greens and the reds and the blues because I want a team of everybody. I want a chameleon team. I want the yellow personality, the green personality, the blue and the red personality. I want them all to like me. And they like me for different reasons. And I'm different. Why? Because I attend the Millionaire Mentor Zoom. Because I take my training seriously. Because I am committed. And because I'm here to win. And guess what? Because I'm a winner, I don't care. As I grow, there will be some people that I grew up with that are friends from church, friends from school, co-workers, high school friends, that eventually they're not going to like me. You know why? Because they're going to say things like, oh, JC thinks he's too good. You know, he moved out of the hood. You know, and he thinks his stuff don't stink. You know, he thinks he's better than us. I don't think I'm better than you, man. I just like who I am. I like that my kids didn't grow up on Alameda 92nd Street, next to the train tracks across the street, you're in Wops. Yeah, bro, that's not for me. Yeah, but you've changed. Damn right I changed. I didn't work this hard to stay the same. I love that my wife is a stay-at-home mom. She closes, don't get me wrong, she closes 5 to 10 ADT deals a week from home. Right? That's a bonus. I love that. But guess what? I know as a winner that some people are not going to like me, and that is okay. And by the way, if somebody doesn't like me, it doesn't automatically make me not like them. I've told somebody that told me they don't like me because they had a misunderstanding of something that I did. I said, you know what's interesting? Number one, I don't mind that you don't like me because I'm not everybody's gonna like me, but I actually like you. Here's what I like about you. And I'm perfectly okay with you not liking me, bro. All of a sudden, the guy started liking me. He's like, dang, I was not expecting you to say that, right? Because guess what? I don't care about the ego. You know what I care about? I care about winning. Let's win, right? And you could be white, black, Mexican, Salvadorian, Asian. I don't care. You know why? Because money grows in every ethnicity's pockets. And opportunity is available for everybody. And we offer opportunity for everybody. All are welcome. All beliefs are welcome. Come on down. Let's go and attack the most lucrative and relevant businesses today, because that's what Build Network is. It's a business platform that works with the most lucrative and relative business verticals today. Let's go. So we already did number 8. Let's go to number 9. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. That's a big one. Ask yourself this question whenever you're having problems, and every single day. Am I bigger than my problems? Or are my problems bigger than me? Am I bigger than my problems? Rich people have a philosophy. I'm bigger than my problems. The problems that used to be big, I eat them for breakfast. I eat those problems for breakfast. You know why, though? Because I told my subconscious mind that I do. Now I believe that I do. Let me tell you something. Your subconscious mind will believe whatever you tell it. Whether it's good or bad, it'll believe whatever you tell it. It's the most fertile. It's more fertile than the most fertile ground in the world. You keep telling yourself something over and over and over. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. It'll believe whatever you tell it. You better be careful what your thoughts are. Your thoughts will go out into the universe and will not come back void. Your words speak greatness to your kids. When both of our kids were born, I say, you are destined for greatness, son. Almost on a daily basis, I tell my sons, you're going to be champion of the world one day, son. You're going to be champion of the world. You're going to be a great big man one day. One day you're going to be a big man. You're going to be a great man. You're going to lead a lot of people because you're going to bless a lot of people. And you're going to be champion of the world one day. I say that to my sons all the time. Before they could understand what those words meant, I was saying that to them all the doggone time. Let's go. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. Meaning, hey, listen, when you start to receive because you've helped a lot of people, you will get blessings. You will get people that thank you. One day you'll get people that cry because you came into their life and they're going to be so grateful. Receive it. Because I believe that we are blessed to bless others. But here's the deal. I don't blame other people for my success. But I also take the credit for some of the success that I've had. And it's not only me. I know that 100%. You know, it reminds me of a story Jim Rohn said. He said there was a gardener with a big, beautiful garden. And some guy walks by his garden and sees a gardener working on the garden and says, wow, you and the good Lord have a beautiful garden here. And he says, we do. However, you should have seen when the good Lord had it all to himself, right? Meaning we do play a part, right? And I believe that. I believe that our talents are what our Creator gives to us. And what we do with those talents, our talent, his gift to us is our talents and our abilities. And what we do with those talents and abilities are our gift to him, right? And that's what I want to do with my family. That's what I want to do with my business. That's what I want to do with my team. Let's keep going. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time, right? We get paid in this business based on results. Based on the value that we bring to the marketplace is how we get paid. Number 12. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. Meaning, as I mentioned earlier, I'd rather be happy than rich. Well, I'd rather be both. You don't have to pick one or the other, right? I can be kind, generous, and loving and still be really rich. T. Harv Eker. How many of you guys believe that? That you can be kind, generous, and loving while still being really rich? Absolutely. I recommend that you say these things out loud on a daily basis. Say them, put them in your subconscious mind. Let's keep going. Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. What is your business worth? What is your assets worth? As time goes on, I want to continue to build my net worth. Okay, let's keep going. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. That's where the Smart Money Club comes in. right? I love having my IUL that I am depositing money on an automatic basis, on a monthly basis, every single month automatically. And I know that that is gaining interest. I know that I've got a life insurance attached to it. I know that I've got other assets, right? I know that I have a budget for my spending, and I'm always learning to get better because I want to make sure that I manage money well. And this is an area that I used to struggle with a lot. And in my earlier years, after I started making some decent money, I mismanaged the money really well, right? So it says here, if all the money in the U.S. was divided equally amongst its citizens, everyone would be a millionaire. Think about this. If all the money in America was taken and evenly divided among all of its citizens, everyone would be a millionaire immediately. However, within 1 year's time, 75% of the people that are broke now would be broke again. Why? Because they don't know how to manage money. That's why in our company, it's not enough just to give the opportunities and the training on selling and building a business. It's about, hey, what do we do with the money? Let's bring the experts. That was Mr. Navarro's idea, 100%. He said to me when we were putting this deal together, he says, JC, we got to teach people what to do with money. We got to really show people from licensed experts what to do with that money, because we don't want to just help people do great financially temporarily. We wanted to do great financially moving forward, right? Number 15, rich people have their money work for them. Poor people work hard for their money. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that in order to get to the point that you have your money work for you, you got to first work hard for money, for sure. The key is, let's not get stuck there, right? Let's not get stuck there. Let's go make the money. Let's go make a surplus. So we're over pouring. And how do we get to where the money is over pouring? By us over pouring into our people, into our customers, into our teams. How can I help you? Three-way calls, Super Saturdays, one-on-one presentations, Zoom presentations, trainings. Let me overflow and over pour into my organization. Then eventually the money starts to do that for us. Then we can do something like this. As Jim Rohn says, profits are better than wages. Number 16, rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. That is such a key one. Rich people act in spite of fear. Yes, it is scary at times, right? Talking to certain people, making certain investments. But when I learned this, I realized, yes, and then guess what? After a while, it gets easier. It says here, fear and faith have something in common. They both ask us to believe in something that we cannot see. Fear and faith both ask us to believe in something that we cannot see. Let's go. Last one. Rich people constantly learn and grow. And poor people think they already know. How many of us have ever met people that very often say, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to say that a lot as a kid and as a young adult. Yeah, I know. And then I learned one day, I need to stop saying, yeah, I know, especially even if I know, but I'm not doing. I think it was Bob Proctor that said, knowing and not doing is worse than not knowing. Hey, man, you got to work this many hours a week. If you're part-time, 20 hours a week, you got to generate 8 points a day. Yeah, I know. But are you generating 8 points a day? No, I'm not. Hey, you got to be at Super Saturdays. Yeah, I know I need to be at Super Saturdays. But were you at the last Super Saturday? No. Are you registered for this Super Saturday? No. Then don't tell me, yeah, I know, because knowing and not doing is worse than not knowing. Okay? See, these, ladies and gentlemen, the Millionaire Mentor call, and not only the Millionaire Mentor Zoom, but just trainings in general are meant to make you uncomfortable. You got to get uncomfortable. Sometimes you're going to feel like we're talking to you specifically, and 90% of the time, we're not. 95 or 99% of the time, we're not talking to you specifically. But here's the deal. If it feels that way, that's a good thing. Because take it as constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is what helps you grow. You don't need yes men or yes women around. Yeah, you're doing enough, Frank. Chris, don't worry about it. That's okay. You did enough. Or, hey, you're good enough. No. Mr. Navarro has been doing the presentations, right? You better believe he hears from me. Hey, great presentation, bro. Let me ask you about this. What do you think about saying it like this? I give him, and he gives me constructive criticism. He's my voice of reason. I make a lot of mistakes. Guess what? There's no ego in the way, though, because guess what? You be right, I'll be rich. I don't want to be right. I want to be rich. How can I get better, bro? You got to stop doing this. You got to stop doing that. Done. Because guess what? I'm in this to win this. And whoever wants to come with, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm going to the top of that mountain. With or without you is what I tell my brother. It's what I tell my team. I'm going to the mountain with or without you, but I love you. I'd rather go with you than without you. Let's go. So get excited. It says here, the best investment you can make, the best investment I can make is in myself. And formal education makes you a living. Self-education makes you a fortune. That's a Jim Rohn quote. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got value from today's Millionaire Mentor Zoom. We always aim to bring you some value, and that's what these are about. Now, just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, doing this every Monday for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you got your team showing up. You got 5 people on consistently. You got 10, 25 people on consistently. Then you got people watching the replays. Then you got people from different parts around the world watching it. And even if you're a person that doesn't have one person in your team, let me tell you something. A lot can happen in the next year. In the next 12 months, a lot can happen. Now imagine what could happen in the next 5 years. And then it takes 5 years to make life fair. What do I mean by that? If you ever felt that life wasn't fair, in 5 years, you could reverse all of it. You could be in a place in 5 years where money isn't an issue, time isn't an issue, your self-confidence is at an all-time high, your health is better. You look back and think, wow, how much has happened in 5 years? I felt 5 years ago life wasn't fair. Now, life feels unfair too. Like, is it even fair for me to make this much money without working so much? Is it even fair for me to go to a restaurant and never have to look at the right side of the menu? One day I'm going to write a book. It's going to be called The Right Side of the Menu. Because when I was broke, busted, and disgusted, I used to go to a restaurant, open the menu, look at the right side of the menu before I even knew what was on the left. Because I wanted to see if I could afford it. You go from life being unfair to thinking, man, is life fair? Because, like, I make a lot of money and I don't really work. And guess what? When you get to that point, you deserved it. Because guess what? Champions are not made in the ring. Champions are just recognized there. Champions are made right now. Champions are made when the calls that nobody sees are being made. When you are getting rejected. When people are being rude to you. That's where the champion is made. When we have a convention and we're calling you on stage and giving you your millionaire jacket and your $100,000 ring and your $250,000 and your $500,000 and your $1 million ring and beyond, you're just getting recognized there, but that ain't where you became a 6-figure earner or a 7-figure earner. You became a 7-figure earner and a 6, and whatever the case may be, in the trenches right now. This is where you are becoming it. So believe that. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I'll see you at the top or from the top. Take care.